Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the after show for issue 17 of The Powers That Be. Again, this one was called Orange is the Color of Your Energy. Also, I need to listen to more 311, apparently. So, we're going to go around, do our stars and wishes, and then talk about what the fuck just happened. So, I think this time we will start. I'm going to go in a completely different order. Patrick, we're going to start with you, because why not?
All right.
The entire world's turned upside down. Why not?
I was rather overjoyed with how you guys handled this. Now, I was hoping that what wouldn't happen would be that you'd do the most sensible things in the most sensible order, and this would have been done within a few minutes. But of course not, because, it's you guys, so that works out very much to my favor.
What were the sensible things?
Leave.
Okay, so the sensible thing would have been to, one, let them take the reactors, just let them grab them anyway. The second thing would be, once one person had touched the stone and become paralyzed by it, had you been thinking a bit about where you are, you'd realize that three of you react heavily to the stone's presence. And it's the three of you who got the powers from here where the stone was found. Who are exactly the three people who grabbed the stone. I could not have planned that better. Like, interestingly, now we know what happens if Jean picks it up. If Pa had picked it up, she would have felt a serious rush of things, but it would not have affected her to the point where it would kind of pull her out of reality for a bit. So either of you could have just picked that up and, that would have been it. And had you not, confronted the others, they were just going to, because first they had to dismantle the portal to get the stone out of it. The stone's containment was what was the main thing that the reactors were doing. So then they could just take the reactors. That's what they were there for. They don't care about the stone. That's utterly irrelevant to their plans at this point. So that would have been the fast method of it. Just you run into each other kind of like a couple cats in an alley, and you circle around each other and then do your own things. And then I would have had to have done a whole bunch more stuff with the ending bit.
Yep.
But no, fortunately, things went completely off the rails in fabulous fashion, which is why I love the system so much, because it allows for storytelling and stuff. I had planned that if anybody was going to try to pick a fight, that somebody was going to lose an arm by accident because of Lumiere and Hex being in the same place at the same time. One of the things I kind of wanted to bring across was the whole point of, you all need to work well as a team because your enemies do as well. And so this is kind of part of this, because basically Hex's power is largely just to give me a good opportunity to have GM intrusions.
Yeah.
Because I can. So things will just go horribly, horribly wrong when he is around. But everything went along very well. I was very happy with things. My main star is going to go to Ray, because the whole thing with how Jean handled getting his arm severed and everything was brilliant. So I love that. And a star for the team for especially starting with Meeple to, why don't we hit this guy? Sure. What's the worst game? He's standing right there and stuff. Indeed. Now, also note, yes, he's extraordinarily hard to hurt at this point. On the compromising side, if he actually punches you, he does 2 points of damage. He is terrible on offense. He is hideously difficult to actually do anything about. So that's the fun thing with him. In terms of wishes, the only thing is that we did end up running a little over, because at that point I couldn't find a good way to kind of do a wrap-up thing from where you were. Things had gone enough off the rails, and I didn't want to have a fourth session taking place in, this building, because, it's not really supposed to be a dungeon crawl, and I really wanted to usher in the next chapter, which we were able to do. So that's one of those. I'm not quite sure how to better engineer that, but I will kind of go through it and see if we can.
I personally would have just scene wiped as soon as the resolution, said we're going to get the hell out of here. Just scene wipe.
Yep.
we're in Sunbox and just
I was tempted to do that when Erebus put everything back together, but I was figuring, yeah, actually, no, that would be a little too telling. So I'm going to just kind of stuff you all back where you were.
right, but we didn't have to narrate the whole go to the Humvee.
Although
You know.
I did kind of like that wind down bit, and especially where you're containing the mysterious orange rocks, because well, that may actually end up being important in the future. So,
Great.
but overall, I thought it was a great session. I had a lot of fun. I had to pull on to parts of the backstory I was not expecting to, but fortunately, I developed a lot of backstory for all this, so I wasn't caught flat-footed at any point. So overall, very happy with everything.
All right. Next, I think we'll go to Julie.
Okay, so this was, I mean, the previous parts and stuff, were kind of sort of in pause element. This was just a whole, literally, just a whole lot of the real. There wasn't anybody for her to attack. Easy, I mean, she's swipe first, ask questions later, but she knows not to fuck with these particular villains, because we have dealt with all before. So it was trying to figure out how to kind of role play that and all that was a little rough, but yeah, that's just on me. But yeah, Ray, just like after things had just gone just more and more and more and more off the rails of like, you coming up with the plan of, okay, this is what we need to do, was awesome. And just, having us all, use our particular abilities to work together was that was like 2 thumbs up, big gold star, sprinkled raining from the heavens. Everybody did a great job with their characters and reacting, and glowing orange, interdimensional hot potato is just that apparently that's a thing now. So
All right. Any wishes?
something that I can beat up.
That's fair. That's fair. You
Mhm,
are the
very
warrior
fair.
of the group.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I had the 2 very whiny cats who are really just not this evening, who are just not helping matters whatsoever.
Yeah, the timing on you yelling at one of them was perfect.
That was
Yes.
great.
Yeah, that was because Aries decided that it was time to beat up his sister, and she just wasn't having any of it. So yeah.
All right, ECAT, we will throw it to you next.
Well, stars go to Patrick as always, because he has a sick, deranged mind, and I love him for it.
Oh my gosh.
To Matt, because just the visual of catching the orange glowing ping pong ball of death with the mask was just this great visual.
That was nice.
And to Ray for like just coordinating that final takedown scene was just awesome.
Oh, hey. Aries is in asshole mode because I'm at the computer, not on the couch with him.
Yep.
You're
So I
not paying
apologize.
attention to him.
Yep.
As far as wishes go, I can't think of anything at the moment, but I don't know if this would be something we could do as like a one-off thing where like perhaps at some point our characters should all sit down and discuss what the hell it is we all can do. So we can become more team-like. Other than go make that cold or catch, know.
Yeah.
The problem
Given
is, say
Matt's,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, given Matt's character and Ray's character's abilities to problem solve that way, it might be something good to actually have, but I don't know how that would work in the grand story of things.
Yeah, but we're all neurospicy people with, trust and communication issues. So.
Right. So it may be that Ray has to like force us to sit down and give us the dad talk.
He is, I
can
believe,
You know what
guarantee
this
you-
group needs? Training.
Oh God. Yeah, and don't forget that you can, of course, get like a team therapist from STEM.
Oh God, no.
God, no.
They're just gonna narc on us.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, let's throw it to Ray. Ray, what have you got?
I got nothing, Egon. How about you? Um, So yes, I mean, Patrick, for the love of all that is unholy and nebulous, good Lord, thank you for putting so much thought, creative, like mapping out all of the what seemed to be in my mind like these if-then statements in order to just pick up. It's like, oh, they're going over there. All right, well, okay. Good thing I've rendered that area already and know how to work everything back. It's amazing. Honestly, star goes to fucking everybody. I feel like that this was our best episode yet.
Yeah.
In terms of we had the most use of the most character. We didn't have the lull. Everybody was involved. What was involved? Julie, you did the like you. I know you want somebody to beat up, but you used your Cypher, and you used it effectively. So that was like that was important. That was really important. Um, big stars to Matt, like that. How you're thinking like your character is just amazing because like you all are coming up with both tech and literary references that I don't have. Like I am not as well read as all of you. I guarantee you that. I am the least well read of the bunch. I know some, but barely. And then I'm a music geek. I don't know so like the fact that you're just like trading the verbiage back and forth and lingo and stuff. It is impressive as somebody who, in with that regard, feels like a plebe.
Agreed.
So ECAT, great. That was excellent. You taking control, and it's like because the teenager is cranky, that's perfect. You became impulsive and you just did, which also means that your character is feeling comfortable enough in order to not just like, well, I'm going to sulk in a corner because I don't want to deal with any of this. Your character has accepted the role and she is now actively applying herself in the way in her best character way. Trevor, great use of just trying to use Crash's abilities creatively and with the phasing, with the beams. You backed out of the one with the difficulty 10, which was smart. So good that you can have an idea, look at the situation, go, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that.
Every once in a while, those two neurons fire together and crash.
Yeah, those particular two, yes. And then I had, what was the one thing? I thought I had something for wishes that it wasn't negative at all. Oh, yes, I did. It's not negative, but so here's the thing. What I think that especially for anybody that happens to be watching this, if we are prepping a role, to talk us through it. Like talk through whenever you're looking and it's like, okay, and I want to I want to, it's okay. What we have the effort, all right, and I'm doing this, and I'm trying to set up for this, and I think that it also gives another slight opportunity for role play and staying in character. It's like, well, if I really want to wall up this guy, then I'm going to power up this thing and put on an extra effort on top of the and the whole asset stuff. So like talking through your preparation before the role will help fill that space, even if like you're confused, because I've been confused doing this. Not going to guarantee that I won't be, depending on what I'm doing, but it's getting better. So just talk us through it. Talk us through how you're setting it up, because also somebody, Patrick or Trevor, or even somebody else could help assist if you're hung up on a particular what button to click and this and that and the other thing. So, and the more involvement, the more exchange, then the more engaging it is for anybody watching.
Yep.
So that was awesome, amazing, best episode yet. Hats off to everybody.
Yeah, we'll go over to Matt.
Okay, well, as no surprise, I guess, following the herd here, the first star goes to Patrick for the Xanathos gambit there. As much as Ray's, praise of me, I'm not as smart as my character. So I got played there. And good on you, Patrick, for playing hard. I mean, like Ray said, we were all pretty much bringing our A game. It was a good night. I do want to single out, Ray for doing the leadership thing and also leaning into the weirdness of the symbiote and that whole thing.
I know.
And Julie's cats for
For epic time.
Commentary.
epic timing. Ray, here's a music reference which you may or may not get, but
Yeah.
As soon as like the circus came through, Clutch's Elephant Riders clicked into my head and was playing in the background of that.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's a good tune. It's not Circus Comes to Town, but would be a violation of copyright to like open up with that.
Yep.
Next time around. But
so
go
ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
You finish up, and then I'll just, because I'm going next, so I'll just handle it.
Okay, and I don't know, the wishes, I guess I just had an image when Ray was talking about the whole containment thing, and then the lockers of whatever Tink and I come up with for the containment. Again, pop culture riffing on the whole don't open dead inside, just don't open science inside, in Sharpie or something across the things. But
hence the do not lick masking tape. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So for me, quick to go back to that. So the character of the Circus King and the Carnival of Screams, for those of you that saw that episode, episode 3 or 4, I think it was. So the Carnival of Screams comes from another online gaming group that I'm in as a mystery from using a system called Tales from the Loop. Quick shout out to Unmade Gaming. You guys are awesome. And the character that we refer to as the Circus King is the ringmaster of that. Now he's been retooled and made considerably more demonic than as it actually turned out he was. But his title comes from The Greatest Showman. Colossal become these renegades in the ring when the lost get found in the crown of the Circus King. That's where I came up with the name. okay, so stars. Yeah, I mean it seems like a cop out to say everybody, but no, everyone else was right. This was probably our best episode overall, and it was certainly the one where we, not only as characters but as players, meshed together well, and I think everyone deserves a lot of credit for that. Yeah, again, Ray, the bit with the arm was awesome. ECAT, the hey, I can keep this on ice and do so. That was very nice, quick thinking. Everyone just had those moments where the kind of the heart of the character shone through. And I think honestly, my wish would be to see more of those, but that's hopefully that's what we're building for or building towards. But yeah, that's yeah. I mean, just congrats to everyone. This was a really good episode. And if this was the first one I was watching, I think I'd be hooked. So, okay, so I have a theory crafting question. Because this is going to happen at some point. What do you think is going to happen when those two orange stones get together and do a little dance?
Nothing
So
good can come of this.
I think that if
I know,
not
almost.
the
Almost.
entirety, I think that one stone, you will see that the one stone fits and is part of. So the one in the coffee cup will be like a puzzle piece
Okay.
into the other one. I don't know if that's all of it. I kind of don't want it to be all of it because it's going to give more buildup. It's like, oh, there's one remaining shard. And when the stone is complete, brr, 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 brr.
I was just thinking black crystal.
Yes.
Dark
Yeah.
crystal.
Yes, exactly. But yeah.
So
Patrick, you summon the Skeksis, I swear to God.
I have a key to his house. I'll go beat him up for you.
So I do feel the need to point out as an add-on to that, the magical MacGuffin that started the war in the 60s that ended up destroying New York was called the La Rock. Just saying.
So I guess theory crafting, there's couple obvious outcomes. One is when the stones get together, there's sort of low powered empowerment of random bystanders. The other is it opens a gate to somewhere that's not going to be good. Cue interdimensional invasion that's not going to suck as bad as the Crystal Skull. Hopefully, please, because Patrick isn't a hack,
right? That actually reminds me of a slight personal wish for Crash's story. I would love to see more about the dimension that he phases into, and how that fits into kind of the larger multiverse, for lack of a better, multidimensional whatever. Because you were talking about Erebus, living in kind of the dimensions between, and the phrase liminal space was the first one that came to mind, and my thought was, so I wonder if that's the same place that Crash goes, which is why I tried that. But I'd love to see more about that. All right. What do we think the Circus King's got in store?
I don't know, but I just got a message from my sister who watched the live show, who just said, "Let the creepy clown dude have it."
So yeah, the jump scare did end up coming in like almost at the at the exact end of the episode. But yeah, go back and check that out, because I'm really kind of proud of that, except for the fact that the small version of it ended up like partially off screen.
So
yeah,
where was the jump scare?
When Patrick put the Circus King up on our screen,
okay,
was when I did the jump scare in OBS.
Okay.
So yeah,
cool.
Pretty much right at the end. yeah, he's definitely, you know, creepy clown guy.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Anybody else corophobic or just
Clowns don't phase me, but freaking like porcelain dolls, man, those just nope.
Dead-eye
Nope.
dolls, creepy Waynes.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Julie.
saying let the Uber supers deal with them.
Yep.
We're done.
I just want a minute to take a breath. All right. Anyone else?
want a nap.
Mhm.
I do.
Uh-huh.
I had a
Like
friend
other
in a
people are doing recovery rolls. Can I do one?
Oh
'Cause
well,
my
I'm kind of assuming that y'all are going to have your coffee, you're going to go home, and you're going to ignore what's happening with the circus and sleep for a couple days.
Are you kidding? Paul is curled up on the bench on the one side of the table with her coffee cup in her hand, taking a nap
Yeah.
well,
I'm
yeah,
down
I
with
mean,
my hand up.
for her recovery roll. She can
I-
sleep anywhere.
I mean, Jack's probably been doing the soldier thing of like we get in the Humvee, he's asleep. We get back to the base, there's some downtime, he's asleep.
I'm actually thinking Jack, part of his brain is asleep and part of it's awake and keeping him moving around, and then they'll kind of swapsy later.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like,
good. So Jack's going to be a zombie by issue 25.
no, just sleeping like the way dolphins sleep, one hemisphere at a time.
I think Crash may actually be staring down his 1 hour recovery roll for like the first time ever.
Yeah, Neva has got her head down on her arm with her coffee cup holding, and she's just kind of like, yep, nope.
So an interesting point to anybody watching this, the Cypher system, one of the cool things with it is you have three kind of power pools. Those are both what fuel all of your abilities and also your hit points. So as you do things, you can try to be conservative and keep as many of the points around as possible, but then you can't hit as many things or as hard. But on the other hand, you can certainly overextend yourself and wear yourself out, which is what Crash did.
Yeah.
Is that Crash pushed himself into a position where he's already burned himself out in a couple fights, and then he just kept pushing himself harder and harder till near collapse.
Yeah. He was literally down to a might of 1 out
Wow.
of 17.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was down to 8 intelligence out of 20.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow. Even with your edge of, what was it, 5?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
that's
The
crazy.
fire and ice one takes 5 points.
Okay. Just off the bat.
Yep.
Yeah. Whereas I think might was fine. Speed was 10 out of 16. It was 10 out of 16. So like I almost did the Jack thing of like, what's wrong with you?
So that is actually something, this is for the viewers out there. Obviously, we don't know how familiar you may or may not be with the Cypher system. If there's something that you would like to see, even if it's something that gets added after the live stream to, I guess, we'll fix it in post, to kind of explain a little more about what the abilities are, what we're doing, or things like that, let us know, because I'm perfectly happy to like edit those in. We'll have we'll have the powers that be, the annotated version. So yeah, let us know if you got what you guys want to see. Keep in mind we have a budget of like 0 for this, so it's whatever I can come up with in my spare time. But I think, barring anything else, I think it's about time to get out of here because we're all old and exhausted. So, without further ado, for Patrick, Ecat, Matt, Julie, and Ray, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Good night, everybody.